Hello, everyone. It's me, the President of the United States, Grover Cleveland, here to break a foot off where the sun don't shine. This show is brought to you by the letter Shut Up and the number Get Killed. And you can follow Ryan O'Connor at Wrangleshank on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Twitter. And if you like his work on the Bonehead comic, you can also watch his Bonehead cartoon. The link to all these things and more can be found in the description. Furthermore, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to all things Wrangleshank and all things Ink the Book. Thank you.
It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book. I'm back, everybody. It's another day for another page of Ink the Book Show. It's the only thing I know how to do. To ink this filthy book. Crimson's here. Crimson says, your intro to the stream has changed. Oh, it's been that way. Unless you're talking about the stuff that Grover Cleveland says. He went off the book today. But no, the visuals is the same. Anyway, I gotta catch up because I'm still a little behind. I didn't quite finish yesterday's page. Got a little bit, the tiniest bit of this panel to do, this minimalist bit of this panel to do, and then this panel to do, and then I can start today's page. Said that it's the first time you've caught the start in a while. Yeah, I added all those drawings to it a while back. It just used to be that title card that is on that wall back there somewhere. My head might be covering it the whole time. That guy. It used to just be that, I think. Anyway, let's look at some art. Oh, I'm busting my camera up. I think I gotta... It's this dang cord. This cord likes to get caught and strangulate the camera. So let me tighten the camera. There we go. Because if I don't twist the camera a certain way, it gets too loose, but it eventually ends up getting too tight on the cord. I don't know. We got light. Let there be ink. The book show. I think there's another thing I'm trying to tighten on my light, but I don't know where it is. Okay, that'll do. Okay. There's not much of this page left. And then I can start today's page. I don't think I realized that I left these mountains uninked. Because I moved on to the next panel. I'm going to do these ones darker than those ones. You said I have over 200 of these pages, right? Yeah. This claims it's 207. I've done at least 220, at least, and possibly more than that. I would wager more than that. Are all of these going to be in the one book, or are you breaking it down into a series of books? No, it's one big book, though. While I'm coloring it, my one idea I have is that I might break it up and make 24-page issues available in black and white while I'm still coloring it, just to have something to show in case anybody's interested in that. But it is all one big book in my head. It wasn't written as issues, but I was kind of looking at it a while ago and figured out how I could break it into 24-page issues if I want to do that. I might have to do a little bit of supplemental material to round it out. Let's see. And when do the words or the story get added? And does it get added over the top of the pics or separate? Yeah, it's gonna go on top. That's gonna be like the last thing I do. And I always forget to talk about the word bubbles and stuff. But yeah, that's going to be like one of my last passes on the whole thing. So I think I'm going to do that in Photoshop or something. Do I have the story written out already? Yeah. So I wrote the whole thing as a script first. I wrote it out as like a screenplay. It was 100-page script, which I think I have in here right now. I kind of went over a lot of this not that long ago. Let me see. I'll kind of go over the steps I've done so far. If I can find it, where did I put it? Stupid me. I might have moved it out. Here, I'll be right back. I'm just going to go grab it. Okay. So it was a 100-page script. It's a little disheveled right now. This is page 96. Here's page 3. So generally, each page of the script kind of broke down to about 2 pages of the comic. A little more, like a little less toward the end. It was kind of like there was a lot of action going on at the end, and I would like smaller portions of the script would be bigger portions of the book. But generally, how I was breaking it down was like, so page 7 of the comic starts here, and so I would kind of scan through my script and be like, okay, Denton Crux, he says, oh sure, and hey, that reminds me, and I'd be like, okay, and then that panel is going to break. That's going to be all that happens in that panel. Denton Crux is going to say that. Because in the next panel, I want him to be looking down at his hands as if wrestling with his memory. And then he says, didn't we have a little transaction planned for today? So he's looking at his hands and he's like doing this gesture while saying, didn't we have a little transaction planned for today? And then that's going to be the second panel. And then third panel. And I was just going through, like, looking for where I wanted panel breaks. And then knowing that generally I want about it. And it's because of how I format, like, not even knowing how I was breaking up the panels on a page yet. But I was kind of like looking at where I wanted a page to kind of start and stop based on like the flow of a scene or something. Like, oh, this action would be a good place to turn a page, or this would be a good place to wrap up a page. And so like sometimes, so my knowing my pages are generally based on like a 6-panel setup. It's like 1 2 1 2 1 2, 3 rows of 2. And I do vary it up a lot, and I went in knowing I would vary it up a lot. So I would just so sometimes I would be like, I want this much to be on a page, only four panels, because I need the page to end here. Or maybe I can break up this action into 2 panels and blah blah blah. And I would just kind of, and then sometimes I would be like, okay, well, there's a lot of action going on right here, and maybe I can do a bunch of little panels and make this a 9-panel page or something. And I would just kind of like feel the script for where I wanted a page to end and figure out how I was going to break up the panels throughout it. So, and then once I broke it down, I would then get out my note cards, and then I would kind of like, sometimes I would kind of doodle on the script page, like kind of what I was imagining a little bit as I was nicking off the panels like that. Like, okay, so this one's going to be a 5. So this one says it ends at 6 panels. Then I do a line straight across and do like make a note that the next page starts here on what page I'm on. Here it says 199. And that's going to be a 6-panel setup where I ended that one. Another 6-panel. And then I start page 201. And yeah, so sometimes I'd kind of like break down what this 6-panel page might look like. Actually, this looks like I was doing a... Oh no, yeah, 6. And then I'd break down my card that way and just kind of rough in the drawings. And then I would scan 4 of them at a time. I would take my 4 note cards, boom, 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 put them on the scanner like that, preferably in order, which I think has to be like that because it reads. No, I guess it would just be normal. I don't know. Yeah, 98, 99, 200, and 201. So I would just put them on the scanner and scan them, and then I would take two. Generally, I would take 2 rows at a time, bring them into Photoshop, and blow them up 300%, and print them out. And then when I take 2 rows and blow them up at 300%, this is just the kind of flow that I built up. Do I have some here? It kind of fits right on an 8.5 by 11 piece of copy paper. And so these 2 rows are right. So I don't know how I ended up with. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is the bottom row of this one and the top row of this one, blown up 300% and printed out. And then I would take my light table, and now this is a really big, rough, scribbly, gestury, very crummy thumbnail drawing. And then I blow it up, or get my light table out, and then I basically would trace. I think I did that one in here. Actually, I don't know if I did that yet, but I would trace my drawings with the light table into here and clean them up. And then I would take my light table again and trace them onto the page, cleaning them up again. And look, he's not holding anything here, but he's holding the flask here. But it's a big process. It's a lot of steps, maybe even extra steps, but that's how most of this book went. Sometimes at some points I skipped the sketchbook part of it altogether and just kind of eyeballed what I was doing in the thumbnails on the note cards, and then just drew it right onto the page. And that works too. But that is how I did a good chunk of this book. I have 3 full sketchbooks for this book filled so far. Well, that's probably going to be it for this book, because I don't see myself using any more sketchbooks for the rest of this book, though I am still using more note cards. These are the latest ones I've done. But that's kind of how I plotted it out. As for writing the script, that's the most unknowable to me still. But I believe what's working for me so far. You said all the process steps you'll have to keep in water and fireproof storage. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I do tend to keep that stuff just in shoe boxes, or, well, maybe not shoe box. Well, yeah, the note cards, I keep all kinds of stuff in shoe boxes and crates in my basement and stuff like that. Maybe if I do end up crowdfunding this or something, I'll just give away a bunch of drawings and note card sequences and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I don't throw anything out. I'm a pack rat with my drawings. I'm very sentimental about my stuff. I have notebooks from like middle school. I might have some notebooks from elementary school. I think I have a binder with a bunch of uh, drawings of Goosebump book covers that I did. I used to. Speaking of the creeps, the spider just ran down my curtain. I have barely seen a spider in this place in the 6 years I've lived here. Spiders kind of creep me out sometimes. Original artwork, you're famous, will be worth a fortune. Could be, could be. It's on my freaking desk now, right in front of me. Holy crap! How did it get all the way over here that fast? Am I just crawling with spiders? Now it's on the floor. It's coming to kill me. Ah! Okay, it ran away when I screamed at it. Series of 4 note cards framed as a series. I was thinking of doing that at one point. Like I could give away like do cool framed triptychs of nice sequences of 3 pages or something. If I have some good looking ones. It was so weird. It was on the curtain over there. And then it was like 2 seconds later, it was right here, crawling right in front of my arm, like right over here. And then it was on the floor, going back to the wall. I don't like to kill bugs if I don't have to. So it lives on to scare me later on in this stream. What a wimp. I'm still drawing with a bummed hand. You had to clip that? Wait, what is this? Oh, I can't copy it. I was at a friend's house after my niece's birthday party, and I got there. My brother gave me a ride, and I got out of the car and started running around tables, acting like a doofus. I was running around tables over and over and over, and I almost fell like 3 times. Mind you, this was right. Mind you, 2 things. I'd been drinking a little, and I had just gotten new shoes and new insoles, and I almost fell 3 times, but having like caught my balance, I had to kind of like keep my momentum so I wouldn't fall, because I was kind of like righting myself and like not falling. But then anyway, I fell and scraped my hand on a driveway. So let that be a lesson to you. Don't drink and run. I don't know why I was running. I thought everybody there would think I was funny or something for running around tables. But you know what? I will say this about my insoles. My knees have been hurting for years. They still hurt right now a little bit. But I think it's because I have flat feet and that I wear flat shoes. Like I wear Converse shoes all the time. But so I don't think that's good for my feet. And I was talking about how my knees ache all the time. And they're like, "Oh, well, you wear those shoes can't be good, especially on this ground that you're standing on all the time." And then I was like, "Hey, you're right, and I have flat feet." And they're like, "Yeah, you need to get some insoles or get some better shoes or something." And so I did, and it's been like 3 days, I think, that I've been wearing these insoles, and it's like a night and day difference. Like I still feel little pains in my knees here and there, but it's like nothing like it's been for all this time. So I've just been torturing myself. It's because your ankles pronate inward, which puts pressure on the knees and hips. I too am flat. Yeah, and it was like I wore them for a little while when I was in like maybe middle school, and then it was like when I got rid of that pair of shoes, I got rid of the insoles and never got another pair and never thought anything of it. And it's been like the past 10 years, like my knees have been getting worse and worse. And then I got those, and it's like a total night and day difference. Like my feet are aching getting used to wearing them, but I feel like 1,000,000,000% better. It's like a miracle. Really, like one day last week, I bent down to do something, and it felt like my right knee was going to explode. It was killing me. So, and then I keep bending down, like bracing myself for aches and pains, and they don't come. And I'm like, I feel like a kid again. But it was like I was always thinking, like, dude, I'm in like my early mid 30s. How come other people in their 30s aren't like dying like me? I feel like 80-year-olds would feel. What is up with that? And now today I was thinking like, yeah, this feels like what I imagined 34 feeling like. This is much better. Early mid 30s. I'm in my mid 30s. Who am I kidding? Um hence running around tables. See, that's something I probably would have done anyway. I could probably do it better today than I did that day. Like I could run around, but it's mostly like just a dull, painful ache all day, and then like bending down would kill me all the time. And it's like 3 days in a row now. I've been like, this is great. I don't want to oversell wearing insoles, but I may never die now. Okay, I'll probably die. at some point. But maybe not. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So my boys, they might be giants. They've got a deal on their website. Now I'm just imagining spiders crawling on me. Sorry, that was so stupid. How embarrassing. I just remembered the spider and thought I felt something on my arm. Spider, he is our hero. That's a They Might Be Giants song. It was not even that big. It was like, I don't know. What's a good... Like, it was probably as broad as a penny with its legs. So, like, my hand to scale. No bigger than Bonehead's head. Okay, maybe a little bit. You'd lose it if a huntsman like we get here landed on you. Oh. Dude, the weird thing is I just randomly started being afraid of spiders when I was like 13. But then it was like when I was 14, all of a sudden we started catching these shiny black and yellow spiders that were huge. They were like huge. And we spent a whole summer catching them and putting them into aquariums and pitting them against each other. And then I remember one time we caught a praying mantis and pitted it against one of these black and yellow shiny spiders. And by the way, when I say we were catching them with our bare hands. I don't even know what they were, but they were kind of freaky looking. And we caught hundreds of them and hundreds of them. I've never even seen them since or before. But one summer we just kept finding them and catching them, and I don't even know what we were doing with them other than feeding one a praying mantis one time. And was I afraid then? Not one bit. But you get a tiny little guy in front of me, sitting 5 feet away on my curtains. Okay, it's not that far away. And I freak out. But who knows where it is now? It's right behind me. It's sitting on my head going, shh, don't tell him. It's still, I'm still thinking, like, how did it get from the curtain around my laptop onto the desk, and right over, like past all this equipment that's over here. There's a microphone, a lamp, and my laptop all kind of crowded together. Somehow it got from the curtain around all that right in front of me in like a moment. That is weird. So here is it's all. Have you seen the? I've seen it a few times now. There's like some kind of gigantic. Is it a spider or a crab? But it's like bigger than a person, and it looks horrible. Let me see. Gigantic spider? Or is it a crab? Gigantic crab. Oh, yeah, it is. It's a crab. They've got these, like, incredibly long spider legs. Here it is. Here's the one I'm looking for. So let me see if I can. How do I just open an image now? Google? Google? Dang it. Okay, let's try this way. I'll save it. I just want to make my screen the photo. That's a crab. What the hell is that? Freaky. Freaky deaky. We have bird spiders here. They're the size of a dinner plate. I'm getting the creepy crawlies. Yeah, that. Oh, you said something else. You said there's a coconut spider that looks like a crab, or it's a crab that looks like a spider. I think it's a crab. Oh, yikes. And the thing is, I never used to be afraid of spiders. It just kind of like came all of a sudden out of the blue when I was 13. And I remember thinking, like, what the heck? I didn't used to be afraid of these, like, yesterday. It's like sometimes they bother me more than other times. And sometimes it's just, I don't want them crawling. I don't know, just the thought of them crawling around is just kind of like a little creepy. And that's all that really bugs me about them. There was, I may have told this before, but there was one time where I was at a place, I was working, and I'm walking by, and I see a spider on the ground. I'm like, oh, I don't want anyone to see the spider on the ground. So I'll just scoop them up and get them out of here. Because I didn't want anyone else to be like bothered by it. So I got like a piece of paper, like a stiff piece of paper, and like this clear plastic like lid to something, and I scooped it up, and I put the clear plastic lid on it, and I'm walking toward the front door. I'm just gonna let it out in the bushes or something, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, what is up with its butt? Its butt is huge and like bumpy. It's just weird looking. And I'm like looking closer, and as I'm walking and looking at it, all of a sudden all these little tiny teensy tiny baby spiders start spreading off of its butt onto the paper, because it wasn't a lumpy weird butt, it was carrying all its babies. And I'm like, oh, I throw it up into the air, like just spaz out and like throw the thing, and the spider lands on the floor, and the babies just go everywhere, and I'm like, ah. And this lady comes over, and she's like, I'll get them, and starts stomping them all in front of me. I was like, I was trying to be brave. It was so embarrassing. But how terrible that I just threw spiders all over the dang place. I was trying to be discreet about the spiders, is what I was doing. And look how that worked out. this lady just got, she's like a I don't know, maybe a 30-year-old lady. She's like, I'll get them, and just starts stomping baby spiders left and right. It was like I was trying not to kill the spider to begin with, and like I was like falling on my sword for the good of other people, and it totally went the opposite direction of my intentions. I'll be brave, so others don't have to be scared, probably. Good one. He said, I'll be back. Excuse me. I'll be back. Gotta put the washing in the dryer, which is in the shed. Okay. We'll see you. So here's our guys getting caught in the rain. Let's see. I think I'm going to finally see my new baby niece tomorrow. Little Juniper. I'm so excited. I love my nieces and nephews. And I saw a bunch of pictures of all her brothers. She has 3 older brothers. All holding her today. And their mom said none of them want to give up their turn holding the baby. Also, this guy I know, he was asked. He every time I see him, he asks about. I don't know him like tremendously well, but every time I see him, he he asks about um, what's going on in my life and what's going on with my family, and he's just a really friendly guy. And the other day, I was telling him like, oh well, my dad had this thing with his heart, and but he's doing good now. And it's like, oh wow, wow. But then like we had to part ways, and like I barely told him anything about it. And I guess the next day, I guess he had been by. This was at work. He had been by before I got there, and it dropped off a card that said for Ryan's dad. And then I open it and I see it was signed by his name. And I was like, who the heck is that? I was like, oh, Joe. That he left so he heard about it and bought a card for my dad. So I'm gonna go give my dad that card tomorrow. And then I saw him today again, and I thanked him for the card. That was really thoughtful, nice thing that he did. That was totally unexpected and very, very, very I don't know. It caught me off guard as being such a nice gesture. I love my people. Sometimes I'm like really in a bad mood about my job, right? But the people I deal with, even the kind of crummy people, the people that no one likes dealing with and stuff. Something about it. It's just like it's like your family, And I just love the people more than anything. And sometimes I just realize how happy the people can make me. And like, how can I complain about my job when there's all this, there's all these people that I love around me that I would not be around otherwise. Then 2 minutes later, I'm cursing and swearing up a storm again, throwing stuff through a wall or whatever. Probably not throwing stuff through a wall because I'm a girly man, as Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say. Oh, Crimson's back. And then here's Mofucking Joe saying, And he's also saying some kind of thing that I can't see. You missed it. There was a spider, a tiny little spider crawling around my desk, and I had a conniption fit. I freaked out and burnt all my clothes, and no, I don't know. You clipped it. What does that mean? Oh, you clipped me freaking out? Is that what you're saying? If I watch this back on, what do you call it, on Twitch, can I copy it normally from the from the chat, because I can't from here, and I can never log into Twitch from here now because I've had to change my password so many times that I can only do it from my other computer. You said you clipped it. The link above is you flipping out about the spider. Yes. It'll be in your clips. Okay. In my clips? Neat. What am I looking for? Try this one. I'm gonna do some raindrops just falling on their heads. Flip this around. There's a rough side to this ruler that seems to have been taking a beating, and then there's a smooth side that has not quite taken such a beating over the years, which sounds to me like I got to get a new ruler. Said clips and videos on your Twitch page. Okay. That's cool. I didn't even have to do anything other than scream, cry, flinch, and twitch at a spider that isn't even on screen. What are you afraid of, Crimson? Heights? Clowns? Nothing? You're invincible? Spiders. Don't do well with heights either. I think when I was suddenly afraid of spiders, I think I was a little afraid of heights for a minute too, and then I kind of got over that. I don't care so much about heights. I don't like that feeling when you're up real high, or like say, like when I went to some comedy show recently, we're like high up in the balcony, and I look up and the ceiling is this big high dome, and then like when you're high up and you look high up at the ceiling or something like that, or even if you're down way below on the main floor, I'm sure you look up high at this high ceiling and you just feel like you're going to fall over. I don't like that feeling. But generally, heights don't really bug me so much. You said you like evil clowns, but not normal clowns. You'll black out if you go too high up. See, that's the thing. It's like that kind of queasy feeling that you get, like when you look up. That I can imagine that getting overwhelming at some point, but I don't know, I feel like usually I get over that, but it seems like something that could go the other way and just get stronger. Was in this really tall building when I was in my 20s. I looked out the window and I was fine until I looked down. My body went to jelly and I just fell on the floor. You know what? My sister gets real like squeamish about blood. Like if she sees blood, like even just like fake gore in a movie, it doesn't even have to be like realistic sometimes. She gets real queasy about it. Like if it's a real like if it's like gruesome, if it's like gore, she gets like, I don't know, she could pass out, I think, if she sees something creepy enough. I get real like empathetic in movies sometimes where like I'll be watching some, like, I don't know, like I'll be watching something on Better Call Saul or something and something violent happens and I'll just go in my seat. My roommate looks over at me like you gonna be okay? But I'm just immersed, I guess. My sister, she's actually like she could get sick. I think. You love blood. That's right. What does she do? Oh, I don't know. It's a good question. I don't like how I made that cross. She had a few bad injuries in her day where she had. I remember one time she fell out of a tree and knocked her head on a pebble or a rock or something, like when she hit the ground, and had to get like staples in her head. And another time, I don't even remember what happened, but she like cracked her lip against something and her teeth like tore into her lip and she had to get stitches on the inside of her lip. Like these people who are scared of needles but are covered in tats and piercings. Like how scared are you really? That's something for me is I get kind of squeamish about needles. I don't like getting shots if I don't have to. I mean I could brave it, but it's like I don't go out of my way to get stuff like that. There's one time in high school, I was like, I'm gonna go give blood, and I went all the way down there, and I opened the door. I had like no reservations about it. Like walking up to the thing, I was like, I'm gonna be a good guy and go give some blood, donate some blood for this school blood drive that we had going. And I went down, I opened the door, and I just see this nurse walking by with like, she was holding a needle and she was like all gloved up and stuff. And like the second I saw her, I just was like, maybe not today. I turned around and I've been kind of like weird about needles ever since. I don't know. It was just like that moment. I got kind of like queasy about that. Though I feel like I owe somebody blood now. Oh, I read that already. Okay. I forgot I can go past the horizon, can't I? Back when you were getting something, I thought I clicked it. Dang it. Back when I was getting blood tests done on the regular, I had this new girl taking it, and she was like 1 week into the job. New. When she released the tourniquet, the blood stopped flowing. I'm like, oh no, you took all my blood, and the poor girl almost passed out. I remember, when I think it was for like going into middle school, I had to do, like, they had to do a blood test or something, and they had to take like a pint of blood or whatever it is. And I'm sitting there, and like they put the needle in. I'm just watching all this blood drain, and that's my story. I don't know. There wasn't anything else to that. Nothing I remember anyway. I remember my dad telling me, like, it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna feel queasy afterwards, and they'll probably give you a cookie and some juice or something like that. I don't remember getting a cookie or juice, but maybe, probably. I know I've told a lot of injuries stories in the past, so I know I've told this because it's one of my most notable injuries, where I had the top bunk. Like, me and my brother had bunk beds for a long time when we were in elementary school, and I had the top bunk, and we had recently rearranged the room. So I don't know about recently, but because I know it had never been an issue. We had rearranged the room where, for the first time, the guard from my bed, the top bunk, was away from the wall. Or no, it was against the wall, so it was open on the other side. There was no guard on the other side. And it had heretofore not been a problem for me. But I guess one night, my brother, for some reason, had climbed into the top bunk next to me, which is not even like a thing that he would do ever. So I don't know what that was about, but I guess it was because of that I rolled over in the middle of the night and hit my head on the dresser, the top of my dresser, on the way down to the floor. And I woke up in a pool of my own head blood. I had to get 5 stitches across my forehead. It's like when... Yeah, I know they usually do. I don't remember them giving me anything, which seems weird. They must have, though. It's like when people go for tats and piercings, I tell them to take a sugary... Oh, yeah. Sugary drink and some sweets. Because some go into a form of shock, or the sudden rush of blood to one area can lower blood pressure and blood sugar levels. I've heard of that. People bringing stuff. Maybe I've heard that from you. I don't know. Like people bringing sugary stuff when they go to get a tattoo. The sweet drink and stuff helps you recover faster. I should make some of these going across her face. Raindrops keep falling on my... I can't be singing. We've had some awesome rain this week, or the past week. It was looking pretty gloomy. It was real hot today here, but it was looking real gloomy. But no rain. I guess we're not expecting any either. It's just supposed to be cloudy. It's meant to be raining more this week. I hope so. Just not until after the shopping is delivered. I always feel bad if they have to bring my stuff when it's super hot or raining. Let me see. What is the weather like? Yeah, just cloudy this weekend. Saturday's sunny. Oh yeah, and then Sunday it looks like probably rain. Okay, am I done with this page? Because I got a whole nother page to do. But where have I put it? Where has it gone? Where have you gone? Okay, so I can go back to the brush. I am going to get myself another... Well, I should heat it up again. I'll be right back. That's heating up. It's raining! Look how happy he is about the rain. Oh, actually, before I do that, where's that page I just finished? I was going to take some white. Here's a full one, full looking one. I'm going to follow one of these lines. Across her dress. So it kind of follows through. And then, what else was I thinking? Maybe that was it. Oh, I know. There was one other little thing after this. I'll do it across his eye too. Dang it. I was also going to do these sparkles on her dress. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to try and meet my new niece tomorrow and drop off that card that this guy got from my dad. And I'm going to try and get some extracurricular art done tomorrow on top of my page for tomorrow. He looks like he's singing. I bought my brother Liam a birthday present today. I don't even know if it'll show up in time for his birthday. I tried ordering, placing an order at a couple different places, and it seemed like it wasn't going to be here before, like, at least it wouldn't be promised here before the 14th of August, no matter where I ordered it from. You said you're not doing presents anymore? I hear you. I think you've got some other factors playing into that, but there are so many people to get presents for in my life. And it's growing all the time. Like, I still got to get something for my sister, whose birthday it was like 2 weeks ago. And I got to get something for the new baby, I feel like. And then Liam's birthday is on the 7th. Then what's in September? I have a niece and nephew with birthdays a day apart, the 23rd and the 24th. And I think that's all in September. And then October is just me, baby. October is all about me. In November, I have a nephew with a birthday. December is my sister's birthday, December 1st. And then Christmas. Ugh. January, my brother Jimmy and my sister Heather have birthdays. I think that's it. February, nobody. Not even a Valentine. No, actually, Valentine's Day, I always buy flowers and chocolates for all my sisters and all my my brother's ladies. I always get flowers for them and my mom. But it's so much. It's so stupid much. The gifts never end. For my niece's birthday party, her birthday was just yesterday, actually. Speaking of presents, but we celebrated her birthday on Saturday, and I actually bought like a card and a bag and the paper to put in the bag, like the fluffy paper. And I haven't bought that kind of stuff in a while. I buy cards, not all the time, but maybe half the time. But I haven't been buying bags and stuff very much lately. But I made an exception that day. But it's like that stuff is stupid expensive. It's like that, and that is a waste of money. I feel like, for sure. That is stuff that goes immediately in the garbage. He said all extra costs and just gets thrown out. Yep. I used to do gifts with all the bells and whistles too, but not anymore. It's especially if you're doing it for a lot of people. It throughout the year, it's just so time consuming and like it's a bit nerve wracking and everything. It's like it's a lot. It's like on top of money, it's a lot. My one sister-in-law, she who just had the baby, she like if we have a Christmas party or a Halloween party or anything like that, she always goes above and beyond with snacks and um she like Halloween costumes. She like designs costumes for the whole family, like themed costumes, and goes above and beyond. And like the snacks are like on theme, and like she does like gifts the same way. Like it's like how do you find time to do this? And she's something else. She's impressive with that kind of stuff. I'm gonna go get that cup of tea. It should be 2 shakes of a centipede's nose. And that's how long 2 shakes of a caterpillar's, or no, a centipede's nose is. Now I'm seeing spiders everywhere. Like I'm imagining it. I'm just a big baby. That's all. So I'm gonna draw all this. I'll do the rain last. I want to stop and start with the brush over and over. You said she sounds like how I used to be, and I can tell sometimes she kind of phones it in lately. Not to sell her short, because she still puts a lot of effort in when she phones it in. But it seems like it's got to be so dang taxing. Like I don't know how she does it, especially with 3 boys. Like they came to the last Halloween party as gremlins, and it was bonkers. They looked like they were out, maybe not literally out of the movie Gremlins, but they looked like they were like Hollywood costumes almost. It was like it was what's the word I'm trying to say? Yeah, I don't know. It was deep. It was in depth. Something like that. It was a lot. It was tedious, I'm sure. I held a Christmas party at my house, made giant candy canes for the entrance, Christmas themed games, including a life size reindeer pinata filled with gifts, had a Santa throne, and all the finger food was Christmas themed. What the what? I turned the local PCYC into a winter wonderland for a work Christmas party. I assume that's something like something like the YMCA or something. Into a winter wonderland for a work Christmas party. Made table centerpieces for all the tables. It's easy if you enjoy it. I guess, like, that's the kind of stuff I feel like I would like to do, but I run out of ideas before I get I'll be like, wouldn't that be cool to make cool centerpieces for all the tables? And then I'm like out of ideas beyond that idea. Police Citizens Youth Club. Okay. Cool. So here's Bonehead's Chinny Chin Chin. He's gonna be going like something like, "Oh man, it's raining." And he's like, "Oh boy, it's raining. I can't believe it's raining." You used to enjoy theme stuff. Actually, the first time I made a cardboard costume, I made this cool, elaborate. That was the word I was looking for. Elaborate. Robot costume a few years ago, all out of cardboard boxes. And like while I was making it, I was like, I'm gonna give her a run for her money. And then they showed up as the Wizard of Oz, and so like here I was, this cardboard robot, and then my brother shows up as the freaking Tin Man, looking just like the guy in the movie. And then the baby was the Cowardly Lion, I think, at the time, and then Braden was no, the baby was the Scarecrow. Braden was the Cowardly Lion. She was Dorothy, and then there was a little Toto stuffed animal with in the basket with the baby, I think. I don't know if they had 2 or 3 then. They might have had 3. Cowardly Lion. No, I think they just had the two boys at the time. But like just his costume alone, it was like we were basically the same thing in a way, and it was like mine was just total trash compared to his Tin Man. And then last year I went as a Viking, and they showed up as Gremlins, and that was like their best one yet. And the kids were like all got up, and they had like they had the red and blue old fashioned 3D glasses on, like they were in the movie theater scene when they're watching like some 3D movie. I think that might be in the second one. And then my brother's like made up like Stripe. His name was Stripe, I think, right? Yeah. And he's wearing a leather jacket, and the baby looked like the baby was wearing like this like basic baby Gizmo costume, but then she added like cotton balls to the back, like there were gremlins growing out of his back, and like she had done all the makeup and everything, and it was so elaborate. It was it was crazy. Like they all had like these like grid scales painted on their face, and it was just so well done. The boys, the 2 older boys, they they were wearing like they were like repurposed, painted, and textured. Like they were originally Hulk masks, or one of them was a Hulk mask, one of them was something else, and they had like worked clay onto them to make them like pointy, like give them like pointy little like tiny spikes on the cheeks and stuff, and they were painted to look. It was just nuts. I was like, holy cow. Oh, and my brother's wearing these like red, like serpent contact lenses, and so is she. They had like sharp in. Oh, your shopping is on the way. I just made myself, right before I came on, I made a bunch of pork tacos with mango and onion. That was really good. It was a HelloFresh dealie. I like HelloFresh, but I don't always have time to be dealing with it. And I'm afraid of letting stuff expire in my fridge. And I'm like really close to stuff expire, like the meals building up and expiring in my fridge right now. So I'm trying to keep up with it so I don't have to throw stuff out. And I've put like meals on pause. Like from being delivered, so I don't get more stuff building up. I'm barely keeping up with the stuff that's already sitting in my fridge. That was good. That was a good meal today. And then I don't know. I think there's 3 more sitting in my fridge. That I have to cook still. Oh, hey, look, somebody new. The Spectral Void. Looking good. Thank you. Welcome. This is my comic Bonehead. I'm getting to the end of inking it. So, I have, let's see, I think it's like, I don't know, like 7 to 10 pages, probably less than 10 pages left till the very end of the book. And then I have to go back and finish this scene that I'm fixing up and redrawing. And that'll be like 10 to 15 pages, I'm thinking. And then I'm done inking it. And I got to figure out how I'm scanning all these 11 by 17 artboards. I think I'm going to go to the arts or the community college and go into the art department. And this is it's a long book. I think all in all, it's going to be about, this says 208, but it's probably a good bit more than that because of scenes I've added in through along the way. It's going to be about close to 250 pages by the time I'm done. I'm almost there. I've been inking this all year on stream. I've inked it all on stream, so it's all kind of archived on my YouTube channel. I try to do about a page a day, as much as I can. So this is this little alien character named Billy TV. Wears this T-shirt that says Butte on it. Oh, let me kind of bring it in a little bit. There we go. His hat has an antenna, so you know his hat is a space hat. That's how you know. Man, fall is coming up. Summer's almost over, isn't it? We're in August now. I am excited about fall. I like Halloween. I really like, as I've gotten older, my priorities in holidays have changed. I've noticed. Like, I got more into the boozy ones and the meal ones. Like Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday now. It was always Halloween growing up. And what else? What else do I like now? Cinco de Mayo. But I could really do without the boozy ones. So I'm still shifting on holidays. I'm not as nuts about them as I was in my 20s. Oh, like St. Pat. So when I was a kid, it was all about what Christmas, Halloween, and Easter. And then when I was in my 20s, it was all about 4th of July, Thanksgiving. Let's see, Guy Fawkes Day. We would always make a bonfire, me and my buddy. And St. Patrick's Day. I don't know if I said that one. Now I like Halloween because we always have a family party and we do costumes and kind of have a competition. And I try to, I enjoy making costumes out of cardboard lately. Like this past year, I went as a Viking. I've still got my Viking helmet. I didn't keep the rest of the costume, but I wanted to keep the helmet because it was the nicest piece. Oh. Let's see, there we go. Jürgen, Flurgen, Durgen, Dur, said the Swedish chef. That was his review of my Viking helmet. I don't know if it was a good one or a bad one, but oops. Okay. I'm going to add all this rain in with a ruler and a pen instead of my brush once I finish the page, because I don't want to keep starting and stopping with the ink and brush. Because if I stop too long, the brush will get all hard and crusty, and I gotta break it in again or re-wet it. So I'm just gonna keep the flow with the brush for the time being. I put too much ink on it. I gotta roll some of it off. This will be better. Okay. He's got all these highlights in his eyes. And this is actually more the base color of his eye. And there's another highlight over here. So I go black with this part. See if I can get this a little tighter. Okay. I mean the focus, that is. There we go. He's overjoyed by the rain. Their planet is like too close to the sun. Is part of this guy's backstory. Okay, so let's see. I got some bad heartburn just now. Ooh. I usually don't get that. I'll see if I can make some plans to get some of my art friends on this show. Nobody comes on my show anymore. My brother always used to come on. He would just be working on whatever random music project he was working on. He makes music in his free time. And there was one day I was telling him about this old stupid show that used to be on Fox Kids. It was kind of like a ripoff of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers back when they were huge. And this one was called Big Bad Beetleborgs. And I had been talking about the Big Bad Beetleborgs. And I played the opening title sequence for him. And he decided he was going to make some kind of parody. And he ended up doing a song called Big Bad Biker Boys. And he made it start to finish while I was inking a page. And I think at the same, it was the same episode. My sister came on and solved a Rubik's Cube while he was working on music and I was working on comics. I thought that was really cool. We were all like exhibiting different talents at the same time on the show. I should see if I can find the Big Bad Biker Boys song and play that. I think I've got it on this laptop. I should. If I don't, I should be fired from a cannon into the sun. Yeah, I gotta get Liam making music on here. Or even just Liam being Liam is fun. And, oh man, if you haven't heard the Big Bad Biker Boys song before, it is the most insane, stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. The funny thing is he recorded all the vocals, all the overlapping vocals, like on my show. And when it was all put together, which he put it all together on my show from scratch, and it just seemed so weird. It was like, I don't remember you like belching and doing all this wild, like screaming. Let me see. If I don't have it, I'm going to be so mad with myself. I don't know why my what do you call it? iTunes types really slow. Come on, sucker. Oh, I have it. I do have it. There it is. Big Bad Biker Boys with a Z, made on Ryan's stream 128.22. So this was January 28th. Let's listen. I don't know how extremely loud this is going to be, so I don't think it's that bad. Is it playing? Is it playing? No. Somebody get me a beat. I gotta make those tracks downloadable. Like, I just did that other, like that snail song. I think I want to make like a Ink the Book Show EP of music from this show or something. Just the random songs, like the snakes. The one that I put on the other broadcast recently that what is it? Sail in the rain, you got a house on your back, but you're still in the rain. Perhaps it's logic you lack. That thing. And Big Bad Biker Boys. I feel like there's other ones too. Like I could put the Ink the Book Show theme. That backwards instrumental thing that I play. One of these days, we'll have to get some more substantial music, I think. Let's see, the king of Planet Montana. He has something on his crown. I almost said helmet, on his crown, but I don't remember what. I'll have to look. So when I designed Billy, I thought it would be kind of unique to have an alien wearing a baseball cap. That's kind of like where the jumping off point for his design. This, I was like, I wanted I wanted there to be a ruler of the planet. He's not a bad ruler, but he is a ruler of the planet. It sounds like he's evil or something, but I was like, what if he's a king of the whole planet? And what would an alien king look like? I was like, oh, he would just look like a regular like fairy tale king, only he's an alien. So he's like an alien with a big long beard and mustache. He wears a crown and robes. He's just a king of the planet Montana. And I thought that was kind of funny to like give like one of those green globe-eyed aliens a big old beard and mustache when they're usually bald. Let's see something. I'm just gonna try and I'm gonna send Liam an invite, see if I can get him on here. Because it sounded like he was about to come on right after I ended the stream the other day, which kind of annoyed me. Because it was the first time he had expressed any interest in coming on in like months. And he used to come on here all the time. I just need to get the link. StreamYard. Invite a guest. Where's Liam? Get in here, sucker. Let's see if he comes by. He might. We've been talking about doing this other, doing stuff for this other YouTube thing that we do sometimes. Not as frequently as we mean to. We do this other YouTube show called Non-Just with our other brother. Where we just make fun of monkeys and we make fun of Twitter stuff we find on Twitter. And I don't know what we do. It's been a while. Dang it, why do I feel like this keeps getting out of focus? When it's a manual focus camera. Here we go. This is the first time I've drawn him with this little scepter thing. The king is this really optimistic guy. He's just this kind, happy, wise old king. This is his scepter. Do a drop shadow on his wrist, where his arm is poking out of the robe. I can do a little bit of a drop under his finger on the scepter. Just to imply some weight on these forms. Okay, here's his robe as he's trudging along the. You know what? I gotta look up his costume because I've drawn it a number of ways as the book went on, but I mean when I was penciling it, that is, and then when it came time to ink it, I drew out like a little model, so I would draw it consistently. So here we go. So he doesn't have like the middle rogue thing like I have here in this drawing. He has. Let me bring this back in. Excuse me, I'm like belchy. Belchy and heartburning. Is this who I am now? It's like never in my life. I hope that's not what's happening to me. He's got this little belt buckly thing. It's got these little strands hanging down. Okay. And then instead of oops. It's trailing behind him. So he doesn't have this that I drew. He has like this. He's got these big cuffs. There's little frail alien hands. Even on screen, I'm sorry. I'm happy to doing that. And then, anything else notable? Oh yeah, his crown. So his crown has this kind of it's just 3 points. Well, actually, that should be connected to this base. This has to go. He's got these like 3 jewels. Okay. Then I'm going to throw a bit of a drop shadow under his beard. To show his face is coming away from the robe. Okay, and that'll about do it for him. Okay. Oh, and he's got the back points of his crown over here. Okay. Dang it, I'm drawing off screen again. What a dingus. Okay, so there's the king of planet Montana. And then now the background. So he lives in this stone castle. So this is the rim of the window, and it's kind of like hand built. So they're all kind of like imperfectly set. Some of them stick out farther, some of them are turned the wrong way. And here's this side. I'm trying to go thin on these lines actually, generally, because also I usually, to put my character in the foreground, I kind of beef up his outline a tad, which I think I'm going to have to do here. I'll do it on his mustache too, to set his mustache in front of his beard a smidge. I don't always go heavy on inner details as much as the outline, because the outline needs the weight to kind of set it apart from things outside of him. But sometimes when I do it on inner details, it's to kind of put depth on the character, like to maybe set this arm in front of his body. I'll do it. Or like his mustache in front of his face, kind of. It helps create depth when you add line weight. So let me see. And I like looking at what I'm drawing on the camera sometimes, because it helps me kind of like step back like an extra degree sometimes and kind of see it from a different perspective almost. Like, because I can like step back from it, just look at my drawing like I normally would. But I find when I look at it on the camera, it feels a little more like seeing it through a new set of eyes. Sometimes when I like take a photo of my drawings, when I go to post them on Instagram, that kind of is like that. Like, I'm like, oh, I thought I drew this better than I did. And here is this little ledge here. It's like the windowsill or something. It's like a stained glass window. Okay. Dang it, I'm trying not to make like perfect connections with corners on these bricks here. Because that's tangent territory. I try to avoid tangents if I can help it. It's got this kind of cobbly, stony floor. Not my best representation of one. There's carpet here. Just touching these bricks to give them a little more texture, little presence, ding them up, make them a little imperfect. So they don't just look pristine white or something. What's that? What else? What's that? Still needs to be a little more separated from the background, I'm thinking. Let's see, I think that's good. Moving on. So then he hears something. Pat, 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 pat. his sleeve. Oh, that's going to be the cuff there. And then his hand wrapping around the scepter, which, yeah, is in this hand. For a split second, I was like, shouldn't it be in the other hand? Oh, good. He's even still holding it in the right hand down here. I'm happy about that. Pushes the window open with that hand. Holds out his hand, feeling the rain. He's still holding the scepter over here. I like when I do my continuity right. That is something I struggled with all throughout the book. Okay, so I'm going to do... So I like that. I think I'm going to put this to black. Like the inside portion of the crown. Okay. All right. So the bottom of the scepter, which I didn't draw on the pencils. Okay. So there's he. He, him. Hee haw. Hardy har har. Over 2 hours. I finished the page I started yesterday on this stream, and now I intend to finish this page today, so I'll be back on track for tomorrow. I intend to do a page a day, at least until I get to the very end of the book, and then which is, let's see, I have all the pages through the end of the book sitting right here. So this is labeled 208, then I've got 209, 210, 211, 212, 213, then 1, 2, 3 additional pages beyond that as just kind of wraparound material. So I'm at least doing a straight page a day. Today's what, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And some of these pages are not that elaborate, especially the wraparound ones I'm talking about. I could probably do all 3 of those in one stream. So, but I have it on my schedule as being a page a day. So maybe on one of those days I can knock out all 3 of those pages and then have extra time hopefully to work on catch up on the pages that I'm trying to fix. There's this little chunk that I'm working out right now. Okay, so there's that. More bricks. And here's the sill, the window sill. And here's the bricks of the wall. Just another brick in the wall. That song, so famously written and performed by Dolly Parton. Ooh, ugly mistake. I really hard shifted the perspective there. Let's see. Okay, that's a bit better. Let me get some of the old white. Mr. Many Mistakes, they call me. They call me Smarty Pants, but I don't even understand why they call me that. They call me oddball. Don't know what they say that for. Oh, where do they get off? They call me Snaggletooth, but that one is the truth. I got myself a Snaggletooth. It's true. I don't really have a Snaggletooth. I guess I know what a Snaggletooth is. I was gonna say I don't even know what a Snaggletooth is. But that's not true. Where am I? Where am I thinking? So this beard is curling around this way. It's the edge of the beard. Did Liam ever get back to me? No. It's the last time I buy him a birthday present. Crimson says back. Sorry, she got distracted. No worries. We had a new person, the Spectral Void, here for a sec. At least I think they were new. Sometimes I see names and I'm like, have I seen you before? That one, now that I think of it, I may have seen the Spectral Void before. Let's see. Oh, I'm tired of drawing. I should just throw this book in the trash. I'm too tired to finish it. I quit. Said you're thinking of going back to bed yourself. Oh, pushing yourself equals mistakes. Take a break then? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Although I did not finish this panel. I forgot about the, what do you call it? The stained glass window over here. Let's see. I am making mistakes though. Little mistakes. That's good. But it's mostly because, well, that was because it's not how I drew it in the pencils. And I just blindly follow my pencils. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna leave you to it and go get some rest before people get home making all the noise. It was fun hanging out. Take care. I'll catch you next time. Okay. I'll be here. I plan on, like I say, I plan on doing a page every day this week. I've got my planner. I'm in the I'm in the interest at the moment of, I don't know how to say the sentence. I'm all geared up to do what my planner says religiously at the moment. So I'm going to ride that momentum until the wheels fall off. I DM'd you the link to the clip in the Discord too. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I still don't know what happened to that spider. So if I make it to tomorrow's stream alive, I'm lucky. Ride like the wind. Take care. Good talking to you. Oh, you posted it too in the Discord? Thank you. I need to get back to posting stuff in the Discord. I haven't really been posting much other than the links to the show when it goes live. Lately. Ta-ta for now. See you later. Thanks for hanging out, Crimson. Okay. I've still got these 2 little panels to do and 2 bigger panels to do. And then I'm done with my obligation for the day. Okay. This is my homework assignment for the day. My self-assigned homework assignment. So here's all these bricks. Let's see, let me finish him first. So here's the King of Montana looking out the window. He's like, what's that noise? He sees it's raining. I just realized that earlier too, I filled in his eyebrows, but they're supposed to be bushy gray eyebrows. So I don't want them to be solid black. I do a lot of solid black eyebrows, but not this character. Okay. He goes, oh, it's rain. So we're gonna just nick up these bricks a little bit, so they're not so pristine and pretty. It's an old, disheveled, hand-built castle. And there should be maybe a bit of a shadow underneath his beard here. Draw shadow. A bit under his arm. I don't know. And then we'll put the background of the hallway behind him. Little impression of the background. And we'll accentuate his outline a smidge. And then I don't think I finished this stained glass window. Okay. So I think that's that panel. Then we've got a similar one below it. Oh, and after I finish these panels, I gotta add all the lean with a ruler and a pen. That's how I'm doing that. Okay, so here he's leaning out the window a little bit with his. See, I started to draw his little hand on the sill, but then I remembered he's holding a scepter, so he's kind of like leaning out the window with the scepter a little bit. It's like, oh my, is that rain? It's been a while since I've seen some rain. Tea. Okay, so here's his hand. Here's his scepter. There's a king with a crown and a scepter who's on WLSD. He's got these 3 jewels on his crown. And then this is the. Oh, wait, let me finish drawing him. I'm going to focus on the subject matter of the panel before I go off into the secondary things. So it's got a big highlight, a small highlight, and then the base, the black base of his glassy eye, and then there's like a halo kind of around the edge of it. And he's got this kingly beard going up the sides of his face. He's got a little curly mustache. Oh my.
Oh my! Water! Water! Is that water coming out of the sky?
He's got like dust in his lungs.
Why, that must be water! I've almost forgotten what water was. I could use a drink.
Now that's the stuff. And he's got the shadow under his beard again. I need to get some ink off this brush. It's like I dip my brush for more ink, and then I immediately need to get ink off my brush. What is up with that? Oh, hey, and I was like, heck yeah. Is that so? Is that what you were like? How you doing, Joseph? Joseph? Hello, Joe. Raindrops. Let's see, there's like a stained glass thing going on here. I said brosive. What a schmuck. I really should be fired out of a cannon into the sun. It would only be right. Oops. No, that's not the right angle. There we go. Lose some ink. There we go. Let's see. I'm getting dead silent. All of a sudden, well, I don't know about all of a sudden either, but what can I say? Oh, did I say? I started to say this at the beginning of the show, I think. My guys, they might be giants. They they have a sale on their website right now where they have, I guess they have like this surplus of T-shirt designs that they don't offer anymore on their in their merch shop. So they're giving away mystery shirts for $5 a piece, when their T-shirts are usually, I think, $25. At least they were 10 years ago. I think that's still the case, generally. But yeah, they're giving away shirts for $5, but it's mystery shirts. So I ordered 2, and I'm expecting those to arrive sometime soon. I have a bunch of They Might Be Giants T-shirts, and some of them are really old. I was wearing one of my favorite ones yesterday. I was scratching my back at one point yesterday, and then I realized there was a little hole forming in the collar. I was like, oh no, it's dying. I have paint on that shirt. It's like my punk rock shirt. It's this one that has giant bugs on the front, and it says "They Might Be Giants" in this like old horror font, like it's a 50s horror movie or something. It's pretty cool. That'd be cool if I got a new one of them, wouldn't it? So I don't think I did like enough implication of hair on his beard for this panel. Okay. I'm calling this one done. That panel. He closes the window and he scoots off. Scoot.
It's like, oh, good.
I think I should add a little sector into this panel. Where's any pencil in my life? I never drew him with a scepter earlier in the book, but he was always like sitting on a throne or something. Oh, good, says he. Does that work? Let's see. I gotta see this in. Okay, I think I like this a little more. It's his arm. And then let's see his beard. Mustache. All I can say right now is what I'm currently drawing. Apparently. Wrinkles. Eye wrinkles. Oh, good. Forehead wrinkles. A little ruby on his crown. Ruby, don't take your love to town. Or something. It's the underside of this top part of the scepter. That's going to be away from the light, so it's in shadow. Let's see. Okay. And then there's going to be shadow underneath his beard again. I don't want it to interfere too much with that shadow, if I can help it. Probably doesn't need to be that thick. I kind of like it that way, I think. I'll just do a white line-ish. And here's the design on his little robe. And here's his far arm closing the window. I find, though, sometimes it does help me to think through what I'm drawing a little better when I just say what it is I'm drawing as I go. It gets you kind of like actively thinking about how what you're drawing works a little bit. Palm. Sounds stupid. Sounds like you're like some kind of numbskull. Palm, thumb. Where thumb connects to palm. Uh, I thought I finished these. Here's that brick, some other brick, yet another brick, and still another. Bricks! Is that all I draw? Am I gonna lose my mind? I've headed up the hill with the likes of these bricks. If I see one more brick, I'm gonna do something rash. I probably wasn't even drawing those on the screen, was I? Let's see. I'm gonna put some weight on this beard here. think I'm trying to do the white on it too soon. The ink was still wet. And then I want the back of his head to be a bit different of an angle. Okay. Brakes. I think I'm going to add some shadow, some hatching to this like little inside edge. All the time, singing. Why won't you stop? I'm just thinking about Ren and Stimpy. Oops. Let me pull this out a little bit so I stop wandering off the screen so much. One more panel and I'm done with my obligations for the day. It's been 3 hours of stream. It's 11:06 here. There's that. I'm like in deep concentration mode, I guess. I keep catching myself like just zoning into the work. Usually I can keep up talking. Well, I don't know about usually, but most of the time, right? I think. Um, it's like made out of some kind of geode or something. This scepter, I don't know. Hey man, I just work here. I'm no scientist. I can barely pronounce the word scientist. I need a refresher. I had to look at the other picture to see how I drew the base of this. Right? Is that it? Dang it. See, my brush is starting to dry out. The inkwell is starting to dry out. My love for my work is starting to dry out. No, I'm just kidding. It's like if I say that this is my dream job, right? And I'm working a dead end job, or like a day job that is not my favorite thing to do. And I say, boy, if I could be doing anything in the world, I wish I was making comics. First of all, that's a pretty attainable goal. You just sit down and make a comic. Really. I mean, it's a little... That might be easier said than done, but you can just find free time and make a comic, honestly. If you put the work in, that's what I'm doing. I mean, I'm just saying it can be done. So if you utilize your free time instead of just watching Seinfeld all day, which I am also doing, by the way. I am watching Seinfeld little by little every night right now on Netflix. But I used to spend a lot more time not drawing and a lot more time wasting my time, honestly. When I had free time, it was like I'd get out of work and then I wouldn't want to do anything. I'd want to just wind down. But, if you use your free time to do stuff that you'd work toward goals that you'd rather be, I don't know, if I'm going to call myself an artist, I should probably be making art. Otherwise, I'm not. How much of an artist can I be if I'm not drawing? You know what I mean? So, where was I going? I have this tragic problem where I lose my train of thought halfway through the thought a lot, with apologies. But so what I was saying was that, if this is allegedly what I'd rather be doing in life for a living, making money at, I have to accept the boredom and the reality of it being a pain in the neck sometimes and not fun sometimes. And I, because if everything works out just the way my little heart desires, this is the job. So I can't put it down when it gets tough. Exactly. I got to be able to work on it even during the boring parts, even during the parts where I'm like, I don't want to. Or at least I have to build up a little bit of a tolerance for the I don't want to parts. Because allegedly it's better than the day job that isn't art. And maybe your goal isn't art, but maybe it's, I don't know, plumbing. It's probably a better idea, honestly. It's noble. Everyone needs a plumber. It's also way more practical. Everyone needs a plumber. I mean, a plumber will never, their business will never dry up, so to speak. I made a funny. It's like, so I try to put a real amount of time of my free time into art for the past few years now. Trying to get better and working on projects and seeing what happens with that. Just making projects and seeing them through and holding myself to it and being my boss on it, and like, you can do this after you do your page. Or, if you do the page, then you can watch an episode of Seinfeld or Rick and Morty or whatever it may be. Now, I don't make everything hinge on this, because I don't want to be that, what is it? Jordan Peterson talks a lot about being a tyrant on yourself and stuff like that, is how he puts it. Like, you want to be first of all, generally, I think you're like inclined to be, when you try to make yourself do stuff, you're kind of like a terrible employee and a terrible employer in a way. It's like you try to push yourself too hard and then you burn yourself out, and then you half-ass your work. So you gotta, like, I don't know, like, he talks about it in that 12 Rules for Life book at some point a little bit, and I like how he breaks stuff down. But he's like, he kind of puts it that you kind of want to be a boss that you would like to work for. So you don't, you go, you try not to, like, be too tough on yourself with your goals, and try to give yourself incentive, and but I don't want to, like, so there's other things that I will make exceptions for, where even if I don't finish my page for today, I have other obligations that I hold a little in high regard outside of this, right? So it's like, if if something comes up with my family, like like everyone's getting together, like on a whim or something, I go and hang out with my family, because I don't want to forsake time with my family, with my brothers and sisters and my mom and dad and my nieces and nephews and stuff. Because sometimes that stuff will just crop up out of the blue. It's like, I'm not at work and there's a family thing going on. Well, I better get there, because that doesn't always work out. You know what I mean? I don't want to lose out on time with them if I can help it. Or, like, I live with my best friend is my roommate, and but his fiance also lives here now, and they spend a lot of time together. And then I'm always doing this, so we actually spend less time together than ever before in our lives, in a way. And even though we live under the same roof, so it's like, when a new episode of Better Call Saul comes on, like, I make it a point, when Better Call Saul comes on, I'm hanging out with my roommate and enjoying that together with him. And it's like, usually there's something I try to, like, make appointment time for my buddy a little bit. I try to, anyway. Maybe there might be gaps in there over the past couple of years where, I don't know. But, like, when New Venture Brothers comes out, that we always watch live too. Now that's been canceled. There's a movie and then it's going to be done. I don't know when that's coming out. But there's other things too, like if this is going on, make time for it. Like church, I always make time for. Like Sunday, I always try to make it a point to get to church. Saturday mornings, I try to get to my church too, to just go there and read some Bible for an hour by myself. There's this little room that, you just go and pray, and I don't know. There's a handful of things. It supersedes the art. So, but art is important too. And then, so I try to get a page in every day, or at least something every day. If I don't draw in a given day, it's usually because of a combination of those other things kind of butts it out. But generally, I get some drawing in every day, one way or another. And usually it's in the form of inking this page, or inking a page, or my sketchbook drawings, or something else. I try to, the things I care about, I try to make them I try to keep committed to them and hold them very high regard. I try not to let laziness or disinterest get in the way of those things. Because they're the things that are important to me, even when I'm disinterested or feeling lazy. And sometimes work, my day job, work will get in the way of those things. Like a lot of times I'll work on Sunday mornings. So by the time I get out of work, there isn't another mass at the church I normally go to. But there's a church actually closer to my house that has an evening mass, and I'll go to that. And then I'll come home and I'll link a page. I'll start a stream and I'll link a page. I also try to work in reading and stuff, and so that's been falling to the wayside this whole dang week or so. Maybe close to 2 weeks now. I've got 2 books that I've been reading like little excerpts of here and there, and I've not really touched them other than moving them onto my desk and off of my desk. Like I'll put them on my desk, so I'm like, when you get home, you're gonna read a little bit of that. And I'm like, I'm running late. I gotta get a stream started. So that's usually the first thing to get pushed aside on me right now. Dang it. Like I said, my brush and my inkwell are both starting to dry out for the night. And if I wasn't streaming, I would just go into the bathroom outside in the hallway. I would not go to the bathroom in the hallway. I would. It's a funny way of saying what I'm trying to say. There's a outside this room. There's a bathroom just across the hallway. How about that? And then go rinse out my brush. I'd come back here, pour a little bit more ink into this little beer bottle cap that I use as an inkwell. And then I'd be all freshened up. But I want to run off screen and clean my brush for 5 minutes. Especially when I'm this close to being done. We're gonna How's that look? I think that's gonna do it. Okay. Well, I'll be back with another page. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what we're doing tomorrow. I like this page. I like this page. So this is a little time jump. I don't know how far. Not very far though. Just a little bit. Maybe a couple months. So we've got, this is what I'm inking tomorrow. So we've been down the streets of this planet before, of this kingdom before. And it was just kind of crummy looking. With this weird architecture, this alien architecture. And now there's all kinds of weird alien plants growing. Some kind of weird alien bird, hammerhead bird. And then there's this structure that's now surrounded by plant life, and there's a little pathway. And we see Petunia picking alien vegetables on an alien farm. And here's Bonehead painting an alien fence. And here he is admiring his alien work. Not that he's an alien, but he's on a different planet wearing a cowboy hat. It should have an antenna coming out of it, like Billy's baseball cap. I don't know. Anyway, that's tomorrow's little assignment. Okay, so at the beginning, I guess I'm going to hold this camera until I end the stream because it's a little loose. But I thought I saw something on my desk. I thought I saw a spider run across my desk, which I'm just going to be paranoid about for the rest of the night, I guess. So at the beginning of the stream, out of the blue, I saw a spider run down my curtain. And then all of a sudden, it was right by my arm on the desk. And then it was on the floor running back toward the window. So there is a spider around here somewhere. And I guess I'm just a spider coward. Anyway, this has been Ink the Book Show. I'm Ryan O'Connor, inking my first graphic novel called Bonehead. And we're getting close to finishing the inking of it. I'm happy about that. I'll be back tomorrow, probably earlier rather than later, because I'm going to try and meet my new baby niece tomorrow. And I might stop at my parents' as well. So anyway, I'm going to put, if you don't already see a link in the description, I'm going to be putting a link in the description momentarily where you can find my social media. You can find cartoons I've made, some little cartoons, and then including a Bonehead cartoon that is 16 minutes long that I made all by myself a few years ago. So, and then there's like a little t-shirt, TeePublic merch shop where you can get mugs and pillows and t-shirts and stuff with things I drew on it, if you care to. And if you don't, that's cool. Otherwise, check out other streams. Click on some other videos. I'd appreciate that. And if you just want to catch the live streams, I'll be back tomorrow doing another page. Take care, everybody. Goodbye. I love you. And don't forget to wash behind your ears, because stuff grows back there if you don't.